Hello guys, this will probably be the last video on Angels on probably in general. Um, Let me get back to something that I maybe should have discussed, but it's quite okay to reach now because we will be discussing some skills and I want to talk about the properties. The resistances are quite important in this game, as I have concluded. You want to have at least 50% resistance. I have specialized a bit in poison and blood. That is okay, but uh, curse is quite a bit of a problem in some raids. For example, the ritual revival site, Lilia has a buff. That buff does some serious damage on you. uh, it ticks up, and the curse reduction, curse resistance, reduces that damage you take. Uh, so for that rate, I'll talk about it, but you want to have curse resistance. You may as well go in prestige and cover yourself with curse if you want to, let's say, reset and maybe use this one, the curse resistance, because this thing is useful only in the battle zone. That is team deathmatch and the desert of chaos. Some people want to be more tanky, but for slinger I think you have to kill them before they kill you, else it's not going well for you. Okay, let's go back into the Colosseum. Now let's talk about builds. This build, uh, let's start basic. Um, Raids, for example. For curse raids, you will want to have quick shot, musket. Then I go with the blind, the sandblast, and I use soul and snare with my enchant on the seraph weapon to reduce the armor my opponents have. For ultimates, this is the only pick in PvE. Summons, I usually pick the Brandip because I use it to tank the ads that pop up on the second stage on the Demora fight. That's for poison as well, because you do not want to tank uh, as a slinger, and the DPS path is the. In my case, I do not have the little bugger that it is the zombie. I have not leveled it, and I find it okay. Okay, we go next. We need to have the effects. Actually, I will move it here because I want to put special attention to the recoil fire that's quite a bit more important than everything else, because this reduces damage that the bosses do to your tank, and for stage 4 it's imperative to have it. If you want to feel a bit more, if you feel confident that you will not take any damage, you can go with the finisher fortune or spare magazine, depending on what you have, if you want to keep your resources up. But if you have enough reduction on resource cost, you will always gain more than you lose, especially on this rate. So I would say Blazing Vitality is the safe way, especially when you need to have it in S4, in the stage 4, because you will take damage from things going not quite according to plan, or you will be forcing yourself to probably tank 1, 2, 3, up to 4 ads on the last stage. And when you have this, you can last a bit longer, and you can use the ensnare ability to ensnare a few of the ads and then move away so you will not take damage. Then in this fight, remember, you have to take down the Jin, then the Tim, and then the Rotem and Titan and Condemner go equal. They do not matter, because if they're casting a spell, they're not doing damage. Just make sure you phase them away from the tank. Okay, so we'll be picking this one. Okay, I'll be showing that. Okay, next build. For the next raid, I tend to pick, for Curse example, we have this. And I do not... Okay, I'll pick this one. And then we pick... no, not Soundblast. I'm forgetting something. Yes. That is what I pick. Okay, you can substitute this for Finisher Fortune, but this does more single target, because basically I use this as a trick to kill the stones at the Mora and then get more damage. It's quite substantial, but this does more elemental. And if you want to have something more sure, like getting more heal, because you get more 6% more attack speed, though this never leaves your bar ever. You use it on every raid. This as well. Because we do not have a good single to pair up with the curse shot, you use this because it has wide damage as well as the poison thingy. But the poison component of the spell is never used. But it has low cooldown, and if you have some spare stamina, you spam this. Then this is stacked to 2 times at all times. You hit the boss with normal attacks, so it gets the debuff from the recoil fire. Then you proceed on. When you're casting, let me get in so I can show you why it's important to play always as a trace off or manual slinger. Let's say you have a bunch of melee opponents that are casting their skill, and you want to interrupt them. You use this, then snare, or preferably use the ensnare. If you're in their vicinity, you use ensnare, then you silence them, and then you can do this. So yeah, also the other skills are same-ish, because see, this is a fast skill, this one is also fast, but there are other skills that have a wind up that should never be used unless you're a combo slinger that does not depend on normal attacks but uses exclusively some other ways. Okay, let's talk about blood. Yeah, for blood I use arterial shots. This is one of my weaker ways to do this. I do not use blood spire. This one skill is okay for blood, but I find more use in having my evasion and giving the tank some survivability so he does not take damage all the time, because there are people too, they die. As for the next ones, I tend to pick the Hunter's Lullaby, and for the next one, Yeah, never forget the reload. Passives. You substitute this for this, and you're golden. You have to have Blazing Vitality no matter what, and that will heal you during the last fights. Uh, because on stage 4, the curse damage is huge. Also, remember, go on green. The green circles give you buffs and increase your attack speed, so you heal more. Normal attacks, you can use this one. You can use your reload to the utmost of your ability. You do not have to kick, and you can use the arterial strike that will get amplified by the dot, so you do more damage. So yeah, arterial strike has an okay casting as I remember, and okay, let's summon a melee. So we cast this. This one is getting damaged and it's sleeping. You do not want to somehow interrupt it. Okay, let me talk about something that I have a lot at this game. It's something particular, like your normal attack will travel, but if you use an attack and then in the meantime you use reload, it will then apply the bleed. So if you have like probably someone who's running away from you and doing okay, miss. I love this skill. Okay, so you have some way to do a long enough shot. If you use buffs, they will apply on that skill. If it's flying, if it's slow enough, and it does not connect before you apply the buff. That is quite disastrous because some people do not notice it, but it's quite an eyesore, in my opinion. I have some other things that I would pick up on. Okay, let's talk about fire. I like this braid because it's quite amusing, and I would pick Finisher Fortune here. And for the skills, goes pretty much like this, and then we pick up the map. Okay, as for pets, I always use Bronte, but you may not want to use, maybe on the curse version, you may want to use Hound if you do not know how to use the Bronte, and I cannot show you in the code scene, and I cannot guarantee a PvP encounter that will allow me to show you pets. Okay, melee. So the thing with this is you use incinerating and basically you spam this. For casting an AoE, you set them on fire, then this does additional fire for every thing it hits. But it's focused around uh, or maybe your teammate killed it. This one will hit something in the nether zone. It will not connect to anything else. So basically it can miss. And a simple solution to this problem would be if our game developers did something really funny and like made a game object that will remain as a marker on this same position the mob was. So it will remain here, invisible, undetectable. It will not have any colliders. It will not make any problems for your game. It will not slow it down because there was already an enemy here. on and that one will be like uh, Thunderbolt Catcher. It will take the skills, and if they have an AoE component, they will spread it around like the ad would if it was still alive. This way, you will not basically waste a skill if you're uh, expecting it to do some work. Normally, people may not notice it, but and maybe they do. I will not make it so everybody's stupid and I'm the only one that knows this. But let's say um, some people do not care. I used to, but you see this. This is what I like about manual slinger. I can basically know where I hit. I can never miss a mob. And this one, I can only target it around him. So when you know that you will not have any more AoE targets, you can just use this, and then use this as a single target because it will do 2k at max fire damage, and it's not that bad if you think about it. Because if you have the resource to spend and it's wasted, why not use it for something else? This one has a bit of a time for casting, but it's not bad. It's quite good for an AoE. I like it. Okay, talk about something else. Let's talk about TDM builds. For TDM builds, I mostly use this. And the most important one, the ultimate is always not that one. That one. And basically you do not heal enough to make it viable, not unless you have it awakened on 2, and then you have something like withdraw. You're tanky, you heal a lot by attacking a lot with the buff from the skill and from the stacks, the 3 stacks you get from this skill. Recoil fire, that's 12, and plus 10, and plus your base. Okay, so what do we want? We can go withdraw, and if you have this on awaken, I would recommend you use this one, not this one. And if you want to be speedy, you would use this one. And if you want to heal, maybe this one. So yeah, though if you use this, you will basically wanna maybe lose something, be it this one, or you wanna not use this one, though it's quite a gamble. You will need this one. This one is okay, but sometimes it gets cancelled by your friends that attack your target as soon as you put it in a sleep condition. So you would want to have this one awakened on 2, so you get the 500 attack damage burst, and then you have 6-second cooldown, actually 5, that goes to 4, and you have the quick shot that goes to 3 or 2, depending how much cooldown reduction you have. I'm basically around 3. And okay, so this one was my old build without this one, though you can go awaken withdrawal, will add 7k HP and quite a bit of armor, so you may want to use this, though the crit from this one is quite amazing. We talked earlier about this skill. If you have it if you have invested in it, I might tell you to maybe use this. It's dumb, I know, but you have quite a bit of sustenance, like survivability, knockback, so you can survive and do some heal and crit and attack speed attack speed, and hit 4-second low cooldown skills. Though you will not have the control with the sleep, and this one hits hard. Uh, this one does 281. This one does over 300. It's quite a bit of a hit. It basically reduces it by 20%. But it's up to you. So this one is hard to place. People use rend, and if you use recoil, you may want to use rend because it negates some of the berserks, but then you break up your other abilities. Maybe you want to use hook kick. Never use sandblast because it's quite good to not have your normal to have immunity to normal attacks, but that's 3.5 seconds, and in those 3.5 seconds you will take the full burn of the other skills like killing blow that will make you stunned, and maybe even there are skills that there are skills, yes, every skill will hit you besides the blind effect, and this one is too valuable in my opinion. So you will see in a moment why I'm talking about this skill as being the most important one you have. You can go with this and use this for the crit. I have used it, and I have one shot at people that I could not do before, and I'm only at 4. So it has quite a bit of potential, but this one lasts 2.5 times the duration of this one. It has lower and semi-stackable buff because it has the stackable 500 and 2.1k bleed on hit. So it's good for when you attack fast, but not good if you do not. If you plan to use just skills, I know a guy that's not the brightest, but he wants to use all skills that hit and basically uses just skills, and it has a merit, but you get countered by one simple thing: silence. You get silenced and you do nothing because you do not have some way to escape. You do not have control, and this is not control when you have 3 people against you. You may reduce it by 2 people, by 1 people, so you get 2v1, but still you're gonna die. So there are some ideas that you can use. Let's talk about the Viper Vault and the standard you have, and then we're gonna talk about Fire Slinger in a bit. And the combo centric Slinger. Okay, so basically this one is easy to play relatively. You open with musket, quick, and you can even your Zerk comes at you, you sleep him, run to the other people, kill the other people, then the Zerk comes back, maybe charges, you dodge away. He maybe tricked you and he saved his charge for now, so you use your ultimate ability, you knock him back. Okay, and even sometimes you can save your ultimate ability, and if the Zerk is not immune to your skills, there is a skill that makes him invulnerable and I'm immune to any kind of abnormal ability. and they have that enchant on their chest, on the Seraph, the PvP one. Okay, I messed up here, but basically you push him to the side so he will not get hit by some of the AoEs, and you use sleep. Basically, you never want to attack a Zerg when you have a slinger or a mage as opponent, because that's the purpose of Zerg. They're tanky, they're annoying, they stay and make problems for you. And without elemental attack, they never die. And defense penetration helps a lot, but not as much as you might think, because they have the CC to back it up. Okay, let's talk about kick, and I will remove some of the skills to talk about some other ones that you might not want to use. Okay, let's see this one for people that did not watch it but watched this for some reason. Okay, which one? The Rend. The skill you might never. Okay, let's leave it for the next segment. And dissolution, and I'm gonna leave it for later. Okay, we showed the sandblast before, so let's go with this one. Okay, good. Okay, let's watch some of these skills. Okay, you go Super Saiyan, and okay. The weakness of the Rend is its fast skill, but if I want to use it, I'll have to run to him and then stun him. This next ability used to be quite terrible because if you think this was slow, it lasted 3 times longer before. Okay, I have the enchant sword, silence it, but this is not how you play. This skill is quite good in PvP. This one is not. This one is situational, but if it's leveled up, it's quite amazing. Super Saiyan and kick, you kill their entire team. And okay, let's talk about why some skills you should never use. Okay, those skills would be okay, let's reframe it. This one is usable, but not as usable. I need this one to make it work. And this one is a novelty. Okay, let's postpone the not usable ones and see if we have another skill. Okay, another thing. Reload. You cannot use it whenever you want if you're not in trace off. So if you are in trace off, you can use your reload even if you cannot target your opponent. So be sure to use a manual slinger every time, unless you want to snipe people, because then you might want to switch a bit in battle. Okay, and which skill did I not show? Okay, let's go like this. I will add a sandblast, just for kicks, literally. Okay, have patience with me, guys. Okay, fire. He's stunned, maybe. Okay, this is a sandblast. You notice, like, I can hit him even when he's here, but if I do not use it at max range, I can get a bit. Okay, see, I got a few feet difference. Compare it to not that one, this one. You see the difference? Huge. That one. That's a respectable distance, but I can use this and basically create distance forever. If I need, I can push them, stun. The wrong way. This is Sir Push a lot. If you substitute one of the passive for Blazing Vitality and reduce this one, remove this one, you can add even a kick, so you can even silence or something. I have not used this. The flash bomb, the flash bang. Okay, next, the stupid skills that should never be used. Okay, this one shouldn't probably not be used, but it's annoying. So that has PvP characteristics. Thin Ice. This scatter shots and the Silver String we saw. It's basically the damage that's bad on that one and this one. Now we will see why I do not like these skills. We saw the dissolution, but I just picked it up because I want to stress it enough. Okay, first let's go with probably. Okay, that one is fast. Does not do damage, but it's fast. Compared to the ice. See the difference? Okay, watch this one. See, that's eternity in PvP. You will not get that that kind of time in PvP when everybody wants to kill you, because you're the target. Ten Eyes was basically the slinger's saving skill, as he was the support character in 1.0. The top level slingers could afford to be DPS, but basically then it was just mage and Zerg to an extent. But 3 mages basically never lost a game. It was impossible. Unless you were against somebody who was ranked 1 Mega Ball. That Mega Ball killed a lot of people. To this day, I don't think he not one-shot some of the lower people that are 100 or 100 to 150 ranked. Okay guys, that's basically it. Hope you find this amusing, and I'm done. See ya.